We will chant Shloka 38. Dhumenavriyate vahanir
Dhumenavriyate vahanir
Yathadarsho malena cha
Yathadarsho malena cha
Yatholpenavrito garbha
Yatholpenavrito garbha
Tatha tenedamavritam
Tatha tenedamavritam
All together.
Dhumenavriyate vahanir
Yathadarsho
malena cha
Yatholpenavrito garbha Tatha tenedamavritam. As fire is covered by smoke, mirror by dust, and embryo by the amnion, so is knowledge covered by desire. Beautiful verse. Let's take the meanings quickly, and these are one or two verses now which are very short. We will finish them in this session. Yatha, as. Vanir, fire. Avriyate is covered, is enveloped. Dhumena, by smoke. That is one example. Now he goes to the next example. Adarsho, mirror. Adarsho meaning mirror. So as the mirror, darshan we say the darshan. So as the mirror, malena, by dust. Cha, and third example will come up. Garbha, fetus, embryo. Avrito is enveloped. Avran we say Avran Shakti. Ulbena, in the womb, or what is written here is amnion. There's a sac inside the womb where the fetus is found. Tatha, so, in the same way, like that, in the same way, idam, this, avritam is shrouded, this is shrouded, tene, by that. This is shrouded by that. Short and like a little riddle. You know, Vedantic technique is there. First you tell the principle. Do like this, like this. Then you explain the principle. Then you give some example. And then you give updesh or the conclusion. So Bhagwan has already told the principle, do karma yoga, don't do karta bhav, don't do bhokta bhav, do your swadharma, do this, do that, don't get attached to the desire. He's explained also why it will take you to complete ruin. You don't believe me? Okay, understand by this example. So this shloka are the three examples of how desires are the enemy to your progress. This is covered by that. This is this knowledge, this learning, this wisdom that I have been telling you about, that you have learnt in satsang, that you learnt in Gurukul. Arjun, you went to Gurukul, we explained all this to you. This, because you know, Arjun now has a desire. What is Arjun's desire? Not to fight the war. What is Arjun's desire? Run away in the mountain. Arjun's desire, become a sannyasi. Arjun's desire, take one begging bowl and go and ask for bhiksha. This desire, idam, this knowledge is covered up by that, tena, by that desire of yours, by this anger of not wanting to fight the war. The problem is the desire is established for so many lifetimes, right? And the knowledge is not yet firmly established. You understand it, you kind of get it, but it has not become nishtha. The knowledge has not been experienced as your own truth. It's still bookish knowledge. So that does not have that much strength to overcome the desire of so many lifetimes of becoming so pakka inside you. So what happens when the knowledge tries to say, no, 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 I'll not have that cake, huh? No, 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 I'll not do this, no, 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 actually I should not have. Then what happens? That desire comes and smothers it. Smothers it meaning like one big pillow you take and you cover it up. You just won't let that knowledge breathe. Not let that knowledge take over. So the desire basically takes over your life. So Bhagwan is explaining to Arjun that even desires of becoming a good person, sattvic desire, that also is a cause of bondage. It is not just a rajasic desire, it is not just a tamasic desire, but even sattvic desires can be cause of bondage. See, desires, they are like prisons because they keep you bound to sansar. Alright? You know, prisons are of different categories. So you have one prison where it is really like you never want to be incarcerated in that prison. It has absolutely no facilities, no comfort whatsoever, and even the inmates, they are those really like, what do you call them, gunda type, you know, like maybe some murderer or some rapist and all, something like really hardcore prisoners and hardcore prison also. Then maybe third class, we call it third class prison. Then you have second class prison. Maybe the satsang of the other prisoners are slightly better. Maybe facilities are slightly better. Better than that third class one. So we call that second class. And then you have VIP prisons also, right? VIP prisons for VIP prisoners. Maybe you have got to stay in your own home, but you're still not allowed to go out, right? What do they call it? House arrest. So you are staying in the luxury of your house, but you're still not allowed to go out. Whether you are staying in comfort and luxury, or whether you are staying in a facility which is horrible, or whether you are staying in a prison which has got iron bars, or you are staying in a prison which has got gold bars, you are still in a prison. You are still not free. So desires are also of different degrees of imprisonment, different degrees of bondage. And so Bhagwan is giving us 3 examples of these 3 kind of desires. So the first one he says is Dhume na vriyate vahanir. That desire is like fire is covered by smoke. So when you light a fire, let's say a havan or some building has caught fire, obviously there will be smoke. There is no smoke without fire, we say. So when the smoke is coming out, it may partially or totally cover the fire. Partially or totally. Now we're not talking about a huge building coming on fire. Let's say a havan ka fire. It won't be that dense. So when a breeze comes, you will easily be able to blow that fire away, right? Blow the smoke away. And even with the smoke there, you may still be able to see the fire. So some desires are such that with a light you can take away that desire, you can control it. You will not be attached to it. It will not become calm. It will not become a desire. It will remain like a mild like, and you became cautious. You did just one exhalation like this. I'm not going to have that chocolate cake. That's it. That's your and you have overcome that desire. Okay? So this is a sattvic desire. What, for example, you are doing a sattvic action. Let's say you're doing seva. But little ahankar has come of doing that seva. Or you are studying, but some desire is there to show off or to something. Some good action, but some slight ahankar has come into it. The breeze is that blow is enough. That teaching of the Guru, hey, be careful, your ahankar has come in the way, and immediately you are able to overcome that desire. So that is sattvic desire. Then there is yatha darsho malena, dust on a mirror. Compared to smoke, dust on a mirror takes more effort to remove. Finished. In 1 second, it's gone. One breeze came, fatak, it went away. But now dust on a mirror takes little bit of effort, takes little bit more time. Till it is clean, you cannot see your reflection in the mirror. It's covered up. It will have to be polished by your own efforts, right? So one cannot see one's self, one cannot see one's true identity, I am Atma, Aham Brahmasmi, because this dust, which is a Rajasic desire, is covering your knowledge of Aham Brahmasmi. So what is a Rajasic desire? Maybe you have desire for wealth. Maybe you have desire for name and fame. Maybe you have a desire for glory. Maybe some Rajasic, you want to acquire something, you want to attain something outside from the material world. All these Rajasic desires are desires to acquire things. Purusharth will be required. Purusharth. And that Purusharth requires effort. So Rajasic desires require lot of Purusharth. And then you have Yathol Benavrito Garbha. This desire is like a fetus in the womb. Now we are talking about many centuries ago, when there was no X-ray, when there was no CT scan, when there was no way to see the fetus in the womb. So it was invisible. Some desires are like that. They are so deep inside, you don't even realize that this desire is causing my downfall. It's invisible. Its veiling is complete. See, without X-ray, without CT scan or whatever the machines you all use, you cannot see your fetus. It's not visible. So, here you cannot even see your own downfall happening. And for the fetus to become visible, 9 months are passed. It takes time compared to polish. 9 months and no pain. Rubbing the mirror, little tiredness. Childbirth, everybody knows the pain involved in childbirth. So to get rid of tamasic desires, it is going to take a lot of purusharth, it's going to take a lot of effort, it's going to take a lot of pain, and it's going to take a lot of time. So many lifetimes you have nurtured this tamasic desire. What are tamasic desires? Tamasic desires are desires of the flesh. Desires of the flesh, carnal desires, sensual desires, sexual desires. So these are going to take a long time for you to drop. because they are coming from deep within. So time needed, effort needed. So these are the three kind of desires. It's very useful to do little introspection, to check out what are your desires, sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. So which one would you start working on first? Sattvic one, which is just rajasic one, which needs little ghaswing, and tamasic, which needs lot of effort. Which would you start with? I would start with sattvic, because when one, if it can go, you will be motivated to do work on the others. Tamasic, if you start with, very difficult, whole life may go also, and you have not achieved anything, maybe. Grace of Guru is quite useful in these cases. But how will the grace of Guru come in if you do not recognize it? If you do not admit to the Guru that you have this desire? So therefore, admitting, taking help from the Guru for these desires is paramount. And therefore, Guru is also needed. I have one more shloka to go. I know I have taken a lot of your time, but I'll finish it in exactly 2-3 minutes, okay? Let's chant shloka 39. It's just the conclusion.